Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna talk about episode 47 of Maîtresse and I. And oh my god, let's just get right into it because it is so juicy. So in the first scene, you see actually Mommy talk with Jelica about, the meeting that Jelica had with Machi and his auntie. And okay, so Mommy actually is the romantic, and she actually thinks that Machi will come back to her because she believes that if there was love between them, then he has no reason to not come back to her. And she also pointed out that, if Machi's mom or auntie had a daughter who was in Jelica's position, then how would they feel, if she was treated the way they treated Jelica? And on the other hand, Jelica said that if someone is insulting / talking back to your mom, then that is a high level of disrespect, so that person will not in a million years come back to her. So she does not expect Machi to come back to her. And then the bell rings, and who is it? It's Machi. So okay, so in the next scene you actually see Jor serving Philly and Lala because they're actually visiting Maîtresse, who is upstairs. And while Jor is actually serving them, Lala notices her jewelry, and she's actually complimenting her on it. And of course, Jor does not know, the backstory, and is actually like, yeah, Biram gave it to me and everything. And so now Lala knows that Biram is the one that stole her jewelry. And Philly was like, she was actually confused, and she was like, yeah, because Mariam is a thief. And she's like, oh, astaghfirullah. And then she's like, I already know who my thief is. And she explained that it's Biram. And Philly was actually a bit disappointed that Lala is not going to, take matters into her own hands. But I think that Lala also has that family feeling that, if she is gonna put it on the table for everyone and the whole family to know, then it also reflects a bit bad on her own husband because that's his brother and everything. So I think that she's just trying to keep it hush hush to, not get tension in the house, or maybe she will get a war with Maîtresse. And I think she also has bigger fish to fry, and that bigger fish is Marem. Raki's mom actually went to tell not Cher's dad, but Jelica's dad, about what she told her own daughter Raki. And she literally says that I haven't told her everything. I told her a part of the story. So I think that maybe her own story that she told Raki was not complete. And I think that Jelica's dad is the person that she is going to force to tell his side of the story or something. And then Biram came in, and as soon as he heard Raki's mom, her voice, he got a flashback. And the flashback is in the car, and you actually see someone that has to be the younger version of Raki's mom in the car, and someone driving, and you see the view of the person that's in the back. And I assume that this is Biram as a young child. And I think that they actually drove into someone, and that person might have died. And I think that this might be actually Biram's dad, because he has this guilt and this feeling about killing his own dad. So I'm not sure what that story is, but it can also be that the person that we thought was Raki's dad, that person actually went to jail for killing this person. So they actually put him in a setup and everything. But I'm so curious about what this story is. Machi is finally speaking up, and oh my god, I have been waiting for this episode, or for him actually talk, since forever. And he's actually telling his life story. So what I've understood from it is that his mom got pregnant, and in Senegal that's really such a taboo, because people want you to be married before you get pregnant. So he was born out of wedlock, and all his life his mom has had heard insults. They have beaten her. They have actually made her life miserable because she got pregnant before, you know, getting married and everything. And yeah, so for him it was like explaining his side of the story as well, because he was like, yeah, and my mom is all I have, and I've realized until yesterday when she came to see his auntie and everything, like until yesterday I have realized that my life only exists to, you know, make her life less miserable or less painful. So I think that what he meant was to say that he does not want to bring any more shame to her life, and that his mom might see it as another shame if he marries someone that, you know, already has children and was already married or whatever. So I think that is what he meant. So he actually told his mom that since he has loved Jelica, he did not look for that paternal love anymore. And also that, you know, because he's with Jelica and she already has kids, he really wants to, you know, focus on himself being a dad. And she gave him, you know, the good feeling of what it means to be a dad and everything. So he actually concluded it with, you know, if you still love me, then I would really want to get married, and I want to do it as soon as possible. So but what I want to see is how, you know, the meeting will be when Jelica is gonna meet his actual mom. So then we're back at Philly, Lala, and Marié, and they're actually having this little conspiracy. And I think that Lala's goal now is to have Marem move out of the house, because I think she just thinks that Marem is annoying and actually, you know, looking to push her buttons, and Lala is really through with it. And Marié was so happy because she's like, okay, we got our little warrior back and everything. She even danced, and she was also like, are you sure that you're Lala, because I don't recognize you anymore. And I think that's also because Philly said in the previous episodes to Marié that Lala is done with, you know, fighting and everything. But yeah, so I assume that she resumed the fight. Okay, so what was really sketchy about this episode was when we were like in the bushes, like behind a corridor or behind a door, and we're looking at this guy on the scooter that was like running around town and giving envelopes and money, and I don't know, that was so sketchy. But the only thing that I knew was that the guy on the scooter is a friend of Lala's, or like someone that she works with, that, you know, does her deliveries and everything. So I knew that this guy was with Lala, but I did not know if maybe like Marem, you know, hired him as well, or that he was playing two sides, or it was, you know, another angle in the show. But yeah, so oh my god, that was so sketchy, guys. So the next thing that was really sad was Mommy and her therapist, because she actually wanted him to stay over because she was alone and she did not want to sleep alone. And oh my god. And yeah, he kind of, you know, like rejected that, and basically rejected her because he told her that you and I will never gonna be a thing. And I thought that his choice of words were actually really harsh. Also, he did admit that he should have, you know, set some boundaries. because he did went out with her like a couple of times, and you know, the only thing that I don't understand why mommy didn't see is because every time they were meeting, I did feel like it was a therapy session, and it did not really feel like, you know, friendship or, you know, a date. But I do think that when you love someone, and if you're like, you know, in love like mommy was or is right now, that she might have, you know, had some pink-eyed or pink rosy sunglasses on, and she did not see the signs and everything. So this might have seen as a yeah, as an attack on her love. And oh, I just felt for her. Marem's past has finally caught up with her, and this guy Homme is someone that she knows from the past, and apparently she was maybe a sex worker, or you know, and yeah, her past has caught up with her. And I really want to know what this Homme guy wants from her, because he does not look like someone who has good intentions at all. And yeah, we'll see. So the next scene is, of course, Amsa crying and crying and be like, yeah, Hamid is gonna F up your life, he's gonna screw up your life, he's gonna, you know, take revenge and everything. And all the time, because she said it like 4 times, and I was like, oh my god, what is it that you know that we don't know? And apparently there is a sex tape of Marem. And the funny thing is that at the beginning of this episode, you actually see the therapist at Vibe Radio actually talking about it, because he's actually saying that, you know, sometimes when you're with your boyfriend or girlfriend and they ask you, you know, for pictures or videos, you know, and he's like giving general advice, like, you know, you have to think about it, because, you know, it's on the internet and people can use it against you and everything. And all along, this had to do with Marem. And I was like, you know, what is this guy talking about? But this is it. This is the message for Marem. But yeah, so she has a sex tape that Amsa had. And Amsa was asked by Homme to send it. And she actually sent it to him. And that is something that he has now against Marem. And I don't know what the story is exactly between Hamid, Amsa, and Marem, but I think that maybe Amsa and Hamid used to be together, because Marem was saying that, you know, why are you still afraid of him? And he knows exactly who I am and what I'm capable of, and he cannot do anything anymore. And if it wasn't for me, you know, your life would have been different. So I'm not sure what exactly happened, but you guys know that the juice is exactly there. And this was the plot twist, guys, because we all knew that there was something. And I really want to know as to how Marem came upon Cher, because I'm telling you, it's a trap. Like, she set that trap for him. And yeah. Okay, so the last scene is the cliffhanger also, where Philly and Lala are actually you know, confronting Marem about a guy that Philly thinks that Marem knows. So she's actually playing it smart, and she's like, yeah, the world is really small, and there's some guy that I know, and I'm sure that you know him too, knowing well that this is like one of Marem's demons that she would have, you know, probably wanted to stay in the past, and she brought him up and she just delivered him on a platter. And she's like, yeah, there's a certain Hamid, I'm sure that you know him, and that's why she fainted, y'all. And I really want to know what Marem and Philly and Lala are going to do with this information. And I suppose that Lala is going to use this so that Marem is going to move out and maybe eventually divorce Cher. And I also want to know how Amsa and Marié are actually going to retaliate, because I'm sure that they have this level of pride that they are not gonna let it go, but also not forget that, you know, they have some sex tapes, you know, that can be used against them. So I'm really curious about episode 48, which is gonna come out tomorrow. Today's Sunday actually, and yeah, oh my god. So yeah, oh my god, thank you guys for watching. Let me know below like your thoughts on how Philly and Lala actually conspired together to bring Hamid back into Marié's life. What are your thoughts on Biram's flashback, and how do you think everything is gonna work out between Machi and Jelica? Do you think that they're eventually gonna get married? Do you think that it's gonna be something that's gonna stand between their relationship and everything? So let me know below, and I'll see you probably tomorrow, because episode 48 will come out tomorrow. So